Hello guys and welcome to another video here on the Mad Chili channel. Today we're doing some flying and decided to move bases from Vancouver. Done a couple of flights in and out of there. I want to get some flying in the A320 on this channel, especially considering I've been doing a lot of these episodes with a joystick and Evos has a joystick, so a little bit better. And I'm a bit tired of flying out of Gatwick, so I thought, you know what, Heathrow, and they've got a perfect mix as well, Heathrow, of 737s and A320s, so we should have a perfect mix to fly in out of Heathrow. So we'll do a couple of flights in that here. No, we're on VATSIM, no ATC, which is very rare for Heathrow. Although there's 15 planes on the ground, so it's actually still quite busy. So let's get the batteries turned on. Cold and dark aircraft, as usual, and external power can come on. We'll let the plane fire itself up here, and then we can get everything set up. Now I'm running on the latest version of the Flight Factor A320, 1.1.9 I think. So it's had a couple of performance updates since the last one, which is good. I had to try and figure out how to use X Updater. I had to install Java, but we got there. So yeah, let's get everything fired up, just making sure that the up-to-date nav database is in there. It is great. And I was wondering if it would reset my license key. It hasn't done that. Good. I thought it might reset my license key because I obviously, like changed around the aircraft, updated it. So nav, and nav on the IRSs. Let's go. No ATC here today. We'll just tune ourselves onto Unicom. So 122.8. We're due off here in around about 20 minutes, so we should have enough time.
Just left at Gatwick.
Right, EGLL, and we're heading down to Strasbourg today. LFST, I didn't actually say that, but yeah, we're heading down to Strasbourg today. Right, INS in it then, align on reference and confirm a line. Those should align pretty quickly, hopefully. We'll see what happens. Right, call sign today is Skyways 251.
Hit the tropic.
Oh, a bit loud.
Taking over to 7 right.
A little bit loud, it's okay. Cabin pairs set there. Cabin supply of oxygen set. It's just our flows basically. On the emergency light, seatbelt signs on, no smoking signs on, and we'll keep the rest of it now for later when everything's all powered up. I just need to be able to transmit on the radio. There we go. Just check that VATSIM is picking up my voice, which it is great. So that's all good, ready to go. So let's get ourselves underway then. So we're going to be taking... Right, so we're supposed to be cruising today at flight level 390. Now, I'm not sure if that's correct. Actually, what we'll do first, I'm just going to go ahead and get all the ground services set up. So today we're going to be taking 6,200 kilos of fuel, so set that in there. Passengers, we are looking for 116 passengers today. So again, set that. And we're looking for whatever cargo fills the rest. So we're currently looking at a... That doesn't seem correct. There we go, zero fuel weight of 52.0. And we want 56.2, so we're looking for 4,400 kilos of cargo. Set that in there. You can see there, 55.3. Oh, no, sorry, we need a bit more. We need a teeny bit more cargo. We need 5,400 kilos. Set that. You can see it's been loaded on. You can now see our zero fuel weight is listed there. Amazing. Chocks can be set, actually, so we can release the parking brakes. That's what it should have been like originally. Make sure the ground spoilers are off. Squawk can be set to 2200 for IFR. We'll just leave it like that for now. Right, so cruising today, yeah, 390, which I think is a little bit too high, but we'll see what the plane makes of it. Why can't I put in my zero fuel weight yet? I guess it'll do that by itself later. I don't know. I thought that when you... Oh, we'll request the winds as well, but I thought when you hit this, it should just put it all in. Right, what we'll do is I will, I'll go through everything. Oh, here you go, this is what you need to hit. So you need to hit set in there, look. So everything should be set up. We hit set in there, and then go to our init page. We should see it's been filled out. There we go, excellent. So, departing here out of Heathrow, we're going to be taking today 27 right, so runway 27 right, and it's going to be Detling to Foxtrot. And from Detling, it's going to be L6 to Dover, and then it's going to be UL9 to Conan. Quite a short flight, this is about 400 miles or so. Right, to Conan, UL607 to Kilo Oscar Kilo. That's in there, and then it's going to be M150 to Delta India Kilo. So we have both of the funny named VORs right next to each other. N852 to Sutel. I do really like the A320, I've got to say, I love it. Don't fly it that often sometimes. UN 852, which is a nice plane, to GTQ. Yeah, excellent. That's our route in there then. Just have a check. What is that VOR that we're going to later on in the flight to start our... Okay, I can't pronounce... Grostenquin? Something like that. We'll just say GTQ. So we're taking the GTQ 6 Yankee today on ILS 05 Zulu. Now, the only thing they have to go off here, no transition, the only thing they have to go off for that particular departure, no, for that arrival into Strasbourg is what Simbrief gave me. I have no clue what runway they're using down there, and in real life there aren't any planes heading there. The winds are 360 at 8 knots, so that does fit runway 05, so that's what we're using. I said no ATC here in Heathrow. French control have come online, although actually that won't really cover as much into a little bit later. Right, that can go on to the... Actually, yeah, let's do the performance initialisation now. So you can see our V-speeds have been put in. I just like to subtract 4 from VR to get V1. It doesn't give you a V1 for some reason. Flex, a good flex temp is about 50. It will always say check takeoff data. I don't know why it says that, because you don't actually get given any takeoff data. The only information you get is the trim value, which needs to be up 0.9. So we know the takeoff data is correct at least. As I said, it's just the... I would like to get V-speeds, but it doesn't appear that we have those. And any takeoff calculators that I've used, they don't seem to work very well. Right, so now we're kind of just stuck. We'll get this set up actually to 6... No, what is the initial climb? The initial climb is 6,000, so we'll get it up to 6,000. And then we just need to wait for the IRSs to align now, so we're kind of, yeah, kind of stuck waiting for a little bit. The IRSs is supposed to be set to times 10 align speed, but they're definitely not, because they still take the same 7 or 8 minutes, so I don't know whether that feature is bugged or what. Right, I guess then, while we're waiting, we'll do our departure briefing. So, start recording on the tablet in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, we're here, parked at Terminal 2A here at Heathrow. You can see there, stand 223. And we're going to be pushing back to the left onto Bravo.
Traffic, speed
Taxi down Bravo. We're going to go round, we're going to go Bravo all the way round. And then link 21, Alpha, Alpha 3. And we're taking off 27 right. And we're going to take the Detling to Foxtrot, which is a left turn out from 2 DME at London, straight out to the Epsom NDB, and then 6,000 feet all the way east to the Detling VOR. From there, we continue on our route. Again, we're supposed to be taking flight level 390 today, although I'm not sure whether that will be possible. You can see our route over the English Channel, over Belgium, Luxembourg, and then descending down into Strasbourg, which is right on the German-French border. So that's our plan for today. And I'm going to remember to stop recording on the tablet, because I keep forgetting that. There we go. And just need to wait now for the IRSs to align. What I'll do, I'll get the APU turned on so that we're ready to push back as soon as possible. Nav and lights can go to the 1 position. Strobe can be good at auto. Everything else, you know what, let's get the fuel pumps on. The fuel is all ready to go, isn't it? We're on 6,200 kilos. IRS align in 1 minute. The IRS is almost finished. Great. And we want to go ahead and set the parking brakes. Shocks can be disconnected. We'll remove the fuel truck, and we'll remove the stairs and the cargo units, and we are ready to push back. So what I'm going to do is go to plugins and then better push back and start push back.
Ground to cockpit. Please show me where you want to go.
And if we push back to Bravo like that. We can then release the parking
Ground to
brakes when we're
cockpit.
ready.
Tow is driving up.
So we'll announce push from start as soon as we're, as soon as the IRSs have aligned and everything right. All brakes can set to max. On the ground spoilers for takeoff. Weather and turbulence set in there, and the tilt can go to +2, and that's that. We'll get the weather radar up. So the weather radar is up and working. Then we'll just flick this over to system 1, like so, and then here in this aircraft, so what we want to do is keep the transponder on auto, and then whack it over to TARA. It won't announce opposition to ATC, don't worry. And then we want to get it to all. So now we're just waiting for the IRS to align, and then we'll go ahead and
Okay,
disconnect.
all doors and hatches are closed, ready to
I
connect.
thought that was a texture bug. We were actually inside the seat. Right, Sam. Oh, come on. Okay, thank you. Why does GSX... Honestly, why does
For
better
traffic,
pushback
KLM
do this?
1009ers
I hate
establishing
it.
on the ILS 27
But
right.
better pushback
For
does
traffic.
this. It only does it in the A320. That's why I thought it was safe. It doesn't do it in any other aircraft. It just gets rid of the ground power, and it really drives me nuts. It really annoys me. Why do they do that? They just, without telling you, they just disconnect the... Alright, well, we'll wait for the APU to start up then. It actually drives me insane, like, because the other aircraft I fly
So
don't do
connected and
that.
bypass pin inserted.
It doesn't do that. It
Release
just,
parking brake.
it doesn't give you any warning is what annoys me. It's just like, yep, alright, I'll turn the external power off now. I'm not going to tell you. Right, it shouldn't have deleted any of our route or anything. I think it should have kept it all. Yes, it has kept it. Good. Excellent. But alright. Yeah, I don't know why it does that. It does frustrate me because it doesn't tell you. If it was going to tell me, say, oh look, I'm going to now disconnect your ground power, because that's what ground crew would say, wouldn't they, in real life? They'd say, right, I'm disconnecting your power, so make sure you're on APU. Doesn't matter. We'll just wait for the test frequency to happen again. The IRSs should be aligned now. They should be aligned anyway. Yes, they are. Excellent. So flight directors are not wanting to work yet. I think we're still waiting for everything to fire up. And I don't know what's going on with the weather radar. It seems to be stuck in like a test mode. So we're just waiting for everything to fire back up again, don't worry. Just making sure it's all going to fire up properly. There we go, we're all good. Flight directors left side and right side. Heathrow traffic, Skyways 251, push and start stand 223, facing east. And we're clear, so we're going to go ahead and push back. We'll just take a quick look.
For
Look.
traffic, KLM
Starting pushback, and you may start
1009er
engine.
established on the ILS 27 8-mile final. Heathrow traffic.
Right, we're all good, don't worry, we're pushing back. Ignition start mode and engine 2 on. And, oh, yeah, the APU bleed, I did turn it on, good. I did remember. So what we should do now is whack it into the engine page. It should have gone onto that automatically, no? But the engine's actually starting. Hey, the engine ain't starting. Oh, not this laugh again. I've had this in X-Plane a lot lately. The APU bleed is on, so the engine should start no problem. I think the aircraft wasn't in ignition start mode yet. That was the issue. There you go. Engine starting now. I think it took a bit of time to kind of click, because of course there probably was the slight issue of the aircraft's power being disconnected. Beacon light can come on. That should have already been on for about 10 seconds, but never mind. Again, next time I'll just make sure that I treat this aircraft differently to 737, and that I don't fire up anything. We're the only plane heading for Strasbourg, so we're okay on that sense. The French control are going to be on 128.1. It won't be until a bit later that, but just in case they do decide to give us a contact, because we are going to be heading into their airspace. Not straight after takeoff. We're actually heading through Belgium and Luxembourg first as well, but just making sure. Right, engine 2 started, so we can get engine 1 fired up now, and we'll go ahead and get the flaps to set to 1 as well for takeoff. There you go, we're all good. Better Pushback has successfully pushed us back as well, so that's nice. They've succeeded. And our weather radar is turned on and ready to go. Excellent.
Heathrow traffic, speedbird 125, holding short to 7 right.
Operation complete. Set parking brake.
Parking brakes are set.
Disconnecting
KLM
code.
109er,
Stand
2.5
by.
mile finals, 27 right, Heathrow.
Excellent. Right, taxi light can come on now that better pushback is disconnecting.
Heathrow traffic, going express 449 behind the aircraft.
You can see there's quite a bit of landing traffic arriving at Heathrow, so we'll keep an eye out for any ATC that decides to jump on as well. Obviously, I'm not quite ready yet for I'm not quite ready to depart yet, so those queue of arriving planes may stop by then. Obviously, that's why I have the TCAS on, so we can see people. The TCAS is actually on auto, so it isn't currently transmitting mode Charlie to the controllers, according to X-Pilot, so... Right. Heathrow traffic, Skyways 251, taxi hold
Cell is
Alpha 3,
disconnected and
runway
bypass
27
pin has been
right,
removed.
Bravo,
Hand signal on the
21
left.
Alpha.
We'll see you next time and have a safe flight.
Alright, oh. So you can see better pushback has now left. Yeah, there they are. They're going off. And we can get moving. Just check our noseable steering is working. It works great in this aircraft actually, by default with no rudder pedals. So away we go. So we're going good. The AP bleed can come off and the APU itself can come off now as well. We don't need that. Do a quick takeoff status check. Actually, let's make sure that our trim is set to up 0.9.
Heathrow traffic, KLM 1009er vacated, 27 right.
It's now set up 0.9. So we'll do a takeoff config check, and we're good. I don't know how to do the cabin check. I'm positive. I thought there was a button up there, but none of the buttons actually make them do anything. So who knows? Okay, somehow the reverser has ended up being deployed on that engine. How has that happened? There we go. I just need to drag it out of reversing mode. There we go. Right, left turn. Oh, I thought that was Bravo then. I want to stay on Bravo. Sometimes they would have you go down there, the controllers. I'm just going to go all down Bravo. Auto brakes are for some reason... Oh, so when I press the brakes... No. Okay, that's a weird one. I wonder why maybe it was going into reverses triggered the auto brakes to go. Right, gonna go left on...
For traffic, KLM 1009er, taxi...
Okay, the cabin are ready now, they've told
gate
us, so I didn't actually click anything, but they're
Bravo
ready.
and Kilo.
So who knows? It is quite busy here. Oh, there you go, got a plane coming into land there, look. Looks like a 747. Yeah, it's a 747. I don't think the South African livery is correct. I think it's a different aircraft,
Heathrow
but
traffic, speedbird
that's the only
125,
one it's
mile
got.
point 27 right.
Right, I think that was Speedbird 125 saying he's going to line up. So I'm going to take a right on link 21, and then I'm going to line up from Alpha 3, I think. Or maybe Alpha 4. I might take Alpha 4. Either way, we're not quite at the runway yet. We were off blocks on time as well. We were off blocks 3 minutes, actually about 5 minutes early, so perfect.
Heathrow traffic and express 449, runway 27 right, please.
So there, Speedbird 125, look, is lining up. I don't think there's anything on approach now. I can't see anything on the TCAS within a 10-mile radius, so that's good. And yes, there is nothing on approach. There is, that's departing from Gatwick. Okay, yes, there's no planes in the area then for us to worry about. Right, line lights on, taxi lights, there you go, take-off lights, runway turn-offs, everything's ready to go. And then the Speedbird's going to take off, and I'm going to line up. Heathrow traffic, Skyways 251, lining up runway 27 right from Alpha 3. So there you go, the Speedbird 125 I believe is taking off now. Yep, they're on their takeoff roll. We'll sit and wait, we'll give them about 6 or 7 miles of spacing, and then I'll depart as well. Just check where they're going. They're off to Bahrain, so they're also doing a debt-linked departure, so they're on exactly the same route as us. So I'm just gonna hold
approaching
a little bit.
27 right.
Another feature I like about this aircraft, it does have RAAS installed, which is nice. There it goes, so the Speedbird's off. Heathrow traffic, Skyways 251, currently lined up
On
on
runway
27 right. Gonna
right.
hold for a little bit to allow space, to allow separation with Speedbird 125. We'll announce takeoff. Right.
Speedbird 125 airborne on the debt-linked departure.
Excellent. Right, so we're just going to wait now. We're going to give that Speedbird ahead a little bit of separation. I'm going to go ahead and turn the TCAS on. And we can see there you go, there is the BA over there. So we're going to wait until he's more than 5 miles away, just to be sure. Obviously, initial climb 6,000 feet, and then we're going to hold for that a little bit. I will just check as well if the plane feels like we can get to flight level 390 on today's flight. It does feel like we can, so we are going to keep flight level 390. It is our optimum flight level today, so it's what I'll put in. Just make sure that the most accurate winds are in. There you go, update, insert that. And I think we should be ready to go. Actually, I'll give him a bit more separation. We can still see him there, so... Obviously, he's a 787, I believe, as well, so we'll be having a bit of weight turbulence from him.
On runway 27 right.
Yes,
On runway 27 right.
Yes, we know. Right, so he's passing 3,000 feet now, so I think it's okay for us to take off. Heathrow traffic, Skyways 251, taking off 27 right. After departure, it's the Detling to Foxtrot departure. Right, parking brakes off.
Speedbird 113, approaching Alpha 3, departing traffic, line up and wait for runway 27.
And there we go. And man, where's the flex? There, I can't find the flex temp on the throttle. If you guys remember, my throttle is very... Oh, I found it then for a minute. There you go, flex 50 SRS and runway. As I said, my throttle axis is tiny, so it's quite difficult to actually find the correct thing on the throttle. V1, rotate. Heathrow traffic, Skyways 251, airborne. There you go, and because we've got a joystick and it actually flies correctly now, I can fly this plane a lot easier than I can the 73. Right, positive rate, gear up. Runway turn-offs off. Take-off lights off. And ground spoilers disarmed. And when we're passing 1580 feet, we're going to go to climb power. There's 1580 feet. Climb thrust set. And flaps up. We're going to begin to bring the nose of the aircraft down now, and then we're going to be making that left turn now. Just make sure this is in VOR mode actually. Going to make a left turn round now. Yeah, hand flying this thing is so much nicer than the Boeing with this joystick. Obviously you'd expect that because this thing does actually have a joystick. In an X-plane, the controller that you use definitely makes quite a big difference to how the plane flies. And we're at 250 knots, so I'm going to get the autopilot in to make sure this thing can manage our speed correctly. And there we go. We're away and out. Is this thing going to climb a bit quicker? I hope it is. There it goes. We've obviously overspeeded a little bit. Is the auto throttle working? What's going on? It doesn't usually overspeed this badly. Maybe this is a bug with the new what do you call it? The new version of this aircraft, because it shouldn't be overspeeding this much. Is it gonna like get the speed back at some point? I mean, seriously, what's it doing? Oh, there you go. I've gone back into... No, I can't work out what the aircraft's doing here. It doesn't seem like it's doing it correctly. There you go. It's starting to slow down now, eventually. Also, I forgot, I need to turn the interior sounds down a bit so I can hear people outside. Yeah, so the plane just oversped a little bit now. It's actually corrected itself now, luckily. And we are on the departure. And we're now stuck at 6,000 for quite a bit until Detling, which is 40 miles away. So, bit of a shame that does happen on these London departures. I wonder if the aircraft exterior
The
noise...
traffic speed 113.
No, the aircraft exterior noise doesn't matter what we hear on inside. It is just quite a loud aircraft, this, sadly. But there you go, the plane is now nicely at 6,000 feet. I don't know what's happened to that speed bird that was ahead of us. I think they've ignored the altitude restrictions. Yeah, they've ignored the altitude restrictions and just gone zooming up. I'm actually going to ignore them as well. I don't usually do that, but today, because we're in a bit of a struggle to try and keep flight level 390 at cruise, obviously in real life they would give you a clearance up if there was no traffic in the area, and there is no traffic in the area, so we're going to go ahead and set 390 in there now, because I'm not waiting 40 miles. Right, and standard pressure. Oh, have I forgot to delete one of the restrictions? I think I have. There. Insert that. This will allow us to climb quicker and be more fuel efficient, which is of course what we want, right? So after we pass, there you go, this thing's now cleared itself up to climb, and yeah, no traffic in the area, so we're all good for the climb. Excellent. And, oh, forgot to put that from ignition start into normal mode. I do often do that in this plane. But don't worry, it's set now. And there you go, the plane is now climbing up nicely. We're going to 40 nautical mile range now. Because obviously I would like to get up to cruise altitude as quick as possible. You can see by getting rid of those restrictions, we're able to stay at cruise for a lot longer, therefore saving fuel, making our flight a little bit quicker as well. Obviously, ATC typically clear you up to 230 as soon as you're airborne, and then they clear you further after that. So, that's the restriction in terms of ATC goes. We're all fine. We're all good. And when we pass 10,000 feet, then I'll pause the recording and resume it at cruise. I would like to find a way to make this plane a bit quieter though. It's definitely too loud. I think there's actually a realistic sound option here. No, there isn't. I thought there might be. Right, 10,000 feet, landing lights off. Seatbelt signs off. And this will go to 80 nautical mile range now. And the plane will begin to start speeding up. I seriously want to turn down this sound though. But it makes no difference in this aircraft. You are just stuck at that level of interior sound. No matter what I do, it doesn't seem to make it any quieter.
So traffic, shuffle 272 left. Altitude 1271.
See, look, I've even changed the master sounds. Look, it does nothing. It's like that, the Flight Factor A320. You can't really change the sound much. There's actually a way of controlling the sound in the Flight Factor 757, but I haven't found the same thing in this aircraft. Hang on a minute, is that it there? Audio? No, it isn't. This is about controlling the cabin, this thing. Right, I'll see you guys at cruise then. Right guys, we're here at cruise. Got some ATC, Brussels ATC came online. So that's nice. Had to expedite climb up to 390 for the last bit because of traffic in the way, so that's all sorted now. Currently on a heading of 095.
Sky 057, continue heading 100.
Different skyways. Different skyways, that one. Yeah, so we're currently on a heading of 095. and we're planning runway 05. I read apparently 23 is preferred, and it said
Speedbird 14 Tango Uniform,
meters
proceed
per
at
second.
Danoff, Delta Echo November,
If
Oscar
the speed is
Victor.
wind speed is less than 2 meters per second, then you can use 23. But actually, I looked up, it's actually 4 knots. That's less than 4 knots. It's 9 knots. So we're going to be using 05. Don't actually know exactly what route we're planning. And yeah, I'll try to fit a descent briefing in at some point. There may not be any cruise montage on this flight because of the ATC. I'll try and get a little gap in to at least record a little bit of it. So hope you guys enjoy the flight. Right guys, time to do our approach briefing then. We're about 50 miles away from descent, just been given direct to Delta India Kilo after having all those headings assigned to me now. We're going to go through the approach briefing in 4, 3, 2, 1, go. So, yes, we're going to be taking the GTQ 6 Yankee, so I'll just get that on there actually. I pinned the wrong chart, there we go. Now the restrictions look a bit confusing to me because it says after a waypoint, descend to flight level 90, and then what the aircraft's done is put that restriction at the next waypoint. So I'm guessing that's correct. I'm not totally sure. We're heading to Lopsu. What I do know is Lopsu needs to be 6,000 or above. So I'll mark that in there. Actually, I forget, it's not 6,000 or above. It's actually plus 6,000. There we go, plug that in there, and then it's going to be descending then on the glide slope. It is 6,000, right? Yeah. I don't know, it's a little bit unclear, that glide slope. By the looks of it, it does start from 6,000 and then into Strasbourg. Airport elevation is 500 feet, transition altitude is 7,000. So let's get all the data in. So 7,000 is in there. And then we'll grab the weather. So the weather for LFST Strasbourg is 320 at 6 knots. It is currently 10 degrees outside. And QNH is 1018. And we're looking for a decision height of 703. That's going to be under MDA.
EV251, descent flight level 170.
That's in there. So everything's all correct in there now. Just do a quick check then of our...
Correction, Skyways 251, descent flight level 170.
Descend flight level 170, Skyways 251. Okay, so we've been told to descend a bit early now, so we'll go ahead and do that. 170, and we'll just before we start that, so we'll just check the frequencies, make sure they're okay. We're looking for ENT 10855, correct. Course of 046 and 046 is in there, so perfect. Everything's all ready to go now, so we'll go ahead and start our descent a little bit early. I think I'm actually going to keep the recording on for the descent, maybe. I don't know. We're still 174 miles away, to be fair, so I don't think I will. So we'll resume this arrival a little bit passing 20,000 feet. Here's the little look at the airport. So runway 05, we're probably going to vacate on Foxtrot. Actually, it might go over to Echo. I've only just spotted the runway's only 7,800 feet, so not that long of a runway. Parking stands, then we're probably going to be taking anywhere from Alpha 15
airspace, radar
to
service
Alpha
terminated,
22.
monitor Unicom 122.8, bye bye,
So
have a nice
there we
flight.
go. And
228,
there we
Speedbird
go.
125, thanks, all good day.
Stop the recording, and I will, I'll resume the recording passing about 20,000 feet. Right guys, we're actually only passing 340. The controller, I don't know what's gone on here, but he's making me descend very quickly because he told me to descend too early, and then only now 30 miles away from Sutal has actually given me a restriction to be there by flight level 170, so never mind. But it does mean I have to do a very quick descent, so which is kind of silly. And also the plane made a mistake on the approach, so I've just corrected a couple of the altitudes on there. What it did basically was, for some reason, it put 2 lots of ILS waypoints in. I don't know why it did that, so I've corrected that. I've deleted the ones that were from the start and put in the ones and kept the ones that were from the approach. That's how I've just chosen to done it. This thing is descending a bit too rapidly right now, I think. We're actually over speeding, so I don't know why it's doing this. I'm going to take control and bring it back a little bit. I don't know, I'm wondering if there's a few bugs in this new version of the Flight Factor A320. We should be mostly caught up to vertical. There you go, so we can see vertical profile we are nicely aligning with, and this time the plane is actually slowing down with the speed brakes as well. Seatbelt signs, we'll just go ahead and get them on. Yes, it's a bit of a quick descent there, it's a bit rushed. I said I'm not the most happy.
Skyways 251, contact Paris 128.1.
Alright, 1281. 1281, Skyways 251. Goodbye. Paris Control, good afternoon, Skyways 251, passing flight level 250 for 170.
Skyways 251 Paris, good afternoon, identified, roger.
Right, so you can see we're just descending nicely now. We might not make that restriction by sit-out, but never mind. We're definitely not going to make it. The controller set it at completely the wrong point, which I wasn't that happy with, but never mind, it doesn't matter, does it? It would have been nice if when he had initially given us clearance, he would have actually, because he hasn't given us a star or anything yet, so it's not like this is a restriction that I should know about. So, oh well, it doesn't matter, does it? Obviously, it's up to Paris Control what goes on now, so, you know, bit of a bonus for the video there. It's pretty fun, isn't it? Oh dear. I think we should actually, we won't make it by sit-out, but we should get close. But we're still 100 miles away, that's the thing, because he's told us to descend far too early. So I don't really know what any of that was about, to be honest. But never mind, that's just how it is, isn't it? The controller wanted us at that out. I don't know, that controller was doing some pretty weird things at times. He was obviously gave me like vectors and stuff for no apparent reason, and then told me to descend without giving me a star clearance or anything.
Skyways 251, continue descent to flight level 150.
Continue descent flight level 150, Skyways 251.
Lufthansa 46, contact Brussels 131.1, bye.
Right, what I'm going to do now is delete that waypoint from sit-out.
Likewise, thank you.
Delete that restriction from
Lufthansa
sit-out, so the plane will
1040,
actually...
contact De Gaulle approach 121.150.
So the plane should correctly do a descent now.
121.1, Lufthansa 1040, have a good day.
So what I'm going to do now is just do a slower descent now, so the plane can get itself back on course. You can see we're actually only 6,000 feet off, so hopefully... Depends on what this controller wants to do. But yeah, so I think we should be good now, hopefully. Also the flight factor is doing something weird as well, where for some reason it wants us to just stay at 9,000 over that 10 miles, so I don't quite know what's going on. I have a feeling that the latest update of this plane has possibly messed a few things up. I'm not certain, but yeah.
C1868, small Unicom 122.8, have a good flight circle.
A few small things about this plane do seem to be a little bit dodgy now.
1868, I think it was a much cheaper one.
But we'll see what happens. Obviously I'm descending now to flight level 150. We'll be there in about a minute's time. And then hopefully we can catch back up with our descent plan. Obviously it's all just about managing it now, really. we're all right. We're 90 miles away from the airport, so we have still got about 20 minutes to run. So, but never mind. I did manage to get some crew stuff recorded as well. I didn't bother going back in the cabin because that takes time to move the cameras around. I need to get like a cabin plug-in for X-Plane that allows me to get to the cabin instantly, but I at the moment haven't got one, so you know, that's that. But yeah, I will at some point try to do that, I think. We've made flight level 150 though. Absolutely fine, which is good. And hopefully now the plane can begin to catch back up with its vertical deviation so that we're actually then following the rest of the arrival as intended.
Skyways 251, leave minus base now, 1 to Unicom 122, decimal 8, have a good flight to Strasbourg, bye-bye.
Unicom 1228, Skyways 251, bye-bye, thanks for ATC. Alright, 1228.
Air France 2684, redirect to Cairtex.
And after all of that, over to Unicom. Unbelievable. So that Brussels controller, honestly, no reason for his restrictions. What I'm going to do is just do a nice gentle descent now at 1200 feet per minute and let the plane catch itself up. So, and yeah, down to 6,000 is what we're going to aim for. I'm going to keep the restrictions as they are. So, because I looked at what the plane was saying, and to be honest, I think this chart must be wrong, because the chart we looked at that said descend to 90, and I thought it must be the next waypoint. There's no way you can get from 9,000 to 6,500 in. Actually, you can do that in 9 miles. The plane. So what I've just done, I've set above 6,500 at Sorem, and then I'm also going to set it here. So it's okay, and I think it's following what the chart says a bit more clearly. So we're just going to do a nice slow descent now. We'll let the plane's vertical speed plan happen. I don't think there's any point in pausing the recording and then resuming it. I was thinking about that, but since we're at 14,000 feet, we may as well just keep it up now. So yeah, we're going to be held at flight level 9 and 0. I'm just going to go direct to Berug just to make it a bit easier. Obviously, it doesn't actually shorten our route at all. It just means I can tell exactly where we need to be descending by. I don't know, and then, yes, the plane's VNAV plan does seem to be mildly broken. I don't know why, but it is a little bit odd. Doesn't matter. We're on Unicom now. Nothing else is heading for Strasbourg, so we've got the airport to ourselves. 9,000 at Berug, and then it'll be 6,500. So that's what we're going to set. On here. And so we just do a very slow descent. We'll start slowing down at about 11,000 feet. Hopefully, I will also keep an eye on when we're going to intercept our planned descent. So, yeah, all going well. We'll get to Strasbourg eventually as we go. So the controller that Brussels controller messed us up a little bit. I don't know. I don't know why he was doing that, but I think he was vectoring people to like stay in his airspace and stuff as well. But who knows? It doesn't matter, does it? Oh, like nice clear skies over there. But then, yeah, after all that faff, we're actually on Unicom for the landing, so it's a little bit crazy, that, isn't it? But, you know, it's all part of the fun on VATSIM. It's why you fly on VATSIM. Get some ATC. It's nice. It's good fun. And then, yeah, 11,000 feet, that's when I'll slow the plane down. Unless, obviously, the plane automatically does a slowdown, that would be nice. And then everything should be ready for the arrival then. Yeah, I don't know why this is saying, look, I don't know why that's saying 9,000. I think something's gone slightly wrong with the altitude on the FMC. Well, what will happen actually if I go to wind request, and then update it? That might. It will have deleted some of my destination data though. 320 at 6 knots. Right, and the plane is trying to slow down now, so I'm going to go ahead and knock back the descent so this thing can slow down to below 250 knots. Landing lights on, seatbelt signs are already on. Got a bit of cloud here, broken at 8,000, scattered 5,800, and then by 4,600 we should be clear. It's 10 degrees, so no need for any anti-ice or anything. Don't think it's raining either, so we're alright. And then what I'm going to do from here, actually, I'm going to go direct to the ILS. That'll get us a nice left turn. Actually, no, I'm not going to do that. The course we've picked already, I think, does actually have quite a nice run onto the ILS. I'll delete that other waypoint, that GTQ40. That allows us to get a nice, gentle turn onto the ILS, which is what you want. So that's good, that's perfect. Although the turn will be a bit more gentle onto the ILS, and that doesn't matter, does it? We're all good. Again, it's a bit of a crazy approach into here, actually, at Strasbourg, because I think if we were prepared for it without ATC, then it would have been okay, but because ATC have got us to, like, descend earlier, obviously the plane's being a bit odd as well, with the things on, obviously putting the altitude restrictions in the wrong place and whatever, but it doesn't matter. To be honest, as long as we get down on the ground, okay, then that's thumbs up, right? Right, I'm just going to hold the plane here and do a really slow descent. Actually, I'm going to start doing a bit of a quicker descent again now, because we're starting to intercept our glides, our descent path. I'm going to delete the restriction at Berug just so we can keep up a continuous descent through all of this. It shouldn't impact our altitude now, it should actually just keep it the same anyway. Oh, never mind, deleting that restriction has now meant that the plane is even further away on we're further away again on our descent plans. Never mind. I might just do vectors onto the ILS from this point now. And we'll still pass Berug at 9,000, so it's fine. See, our vertical speed will eventually sink in with what we're doing. Again, the same slight weird. It's okay. So now look, now we've deleted that restriction. It is actually getting us accurate. It's giving us accurate altitudes for all of our waypoints now. So that's kind of nice. So it's being a bit weird today, the flight factor. I said this is my first flight since I updated it from 1.1.5 to 1.1.9. So maybe there are a couple of little issues with that particular version. I don't know. I go passing 9,000 at Berug perfectly. So, even without VNAV and just doing vertical speed, we've managed it fine. And we're only 40 miles away now, so we should... I don't know, I'm surprised that our vertical speed is so high above us, really. I mean, it's not like we're that far away anymore. But it is catching up with us quite quickly, that vertical descent, so... I did start descending about 50 miles earlier than I would have wanted, so that's why we're so low, if anyone's wondering, because I didn't capture half of this. But yeah, just out of nowhere, Brussels... So Brussels told me to descend early, and then all of a sudden he just said, right, you got to descend and be level at this waypoint. So I don't know why he said that, but... Yeah, literally 35 miles away from a waypoint, he was like, right, you've got 20,000 feet in 30 miles, go. Like, obviously that isn't possible, and I didn't make it, so I just slowed down the descent, but yeah, it doesn't matter, does it? And actually, looking at it, it is quite a gentle turn onto the ILS, yeah, good, we've managed that well. And the plane's VNAV path is slowly getting closer to us. It's only 2,500 feet away now. I'm going to go ahead and arm the ground spoilers, as we don't need anything else now. don't need to slow down much more now. I'm going to take manual control of the speed and drop it to 240 knots. Landing speed today is going to be 135 plus 5 then for the wind, roughly 140 knots. Fine. Actually, no, it's going to be 135. In this plane, it does auto throttle up until landing. I forget that. In the Boeings, you always take throttle control before touchdown, but in this thing, it manages the throttle itself. It's very clever. It's an Airbus. Right. Glide slope intersect. I'm going to... I don't know, again, the chart isn't that clear about what altitude you intercept the glide slope as to whether it's 5,500 or 6,000. Going on altitude is actually 5,500, so we'll just set 5,500 for all of them in there. So this plane, oh, there we go, standard pressure needs to be... okay, that was a weird one, it wasn't working initially then. The pressure is 1018, so I've just set that. And there we go, we're good. So you can see we're on the approach now. For some reason we can see our go around. Oh yeah, we will be able to do that. So we can see our go around path, which is a little bit distracting, but no mind. And I'm going to slow down the descent even more now because we're actually still 10 miles off the ILS, so it's not quite time to start intercepting it. I'll get the landing system live on there for when we're ready. So there you go, you can see we're starting to intercept the we haven't started intercepting it yet, so the ILS that is. Right, down to 220 knots though. Just give it a little bit of a slow down. We can go flaps 1, I believe. So I'll do... Oh, we can't. Nope, it's not working. Again, in the Boeing, you can go 250 knots normally for any of the Boeing aircraft. The first level of flaps is 250 knots. In this thing, it's 230, so we need to slow down. I should have known from those 2 yellow lines there, that's what indicates you can deploy the next level of flaps. Again, I'm wondering if there's been a... No, there hasn't been a slight bug. I don't know. This is saying we're 18 miles away from the airport. This is saying 21. It's okay. Right, when we're about 4 miles away, I'll go ahead and activate the... actually, we can go flaps 1 now. But yeah, I'll activate the approach when we're about 3 miles away from Charlie India 05. It's been a pretty interesting approach, this, hasn't it? Pretty interesting flight. But again, then, no matter what ATC give you, you can still get the flight done in the end. Easy enough. And then yeah, the auto brakes too, because it's not a short runway, but it's well, it's only 7,800 feet, so and you can see we have to stay at this altitude now because there's a bit of terrain down there for a little bit. And go ahead and arm the approach now. I can see the localizer. Look, so we've captured the local. Well, not captured it. We can see it, but we haven't established on it yet. So the airport should be somewhere off to the left. There you go, we've captured the localizer now. And the plane will turn to intercept it. And then we'll just wait for the glide slope, which should start quite soon. Although there we go, in fact there it is, there's the glide slope, look, you can see it there. That line. We're going to slow down to 200 knots now, as we're only 14 miles out. And there you go, we've captured the glide slope as well, so we've captured both of them. Can't see the runway just yet, there's a bit of cloud in the way. It's like there's barely any cloud, but the only bit that we need to see the runway is blocked by cloud, typical. But there you go, so we're fully established on the localizer now, we're now fully established on the glide slope as well, because the star has gone from both of them. And there's nothing on the ground down in Strasbourg, so that's fine. The plane seems to be struggling to slow down any more than what it already has. We're going to go 180 knots now. I'm going to have to use speed brakes then, it doesn't want to slow down, this plane. It's doing a slightly steep descent actually. right now. I think it is. It's a slightly high approach into this airport because of the mountains. The plane is not wanting to slow down though, that's certain. Even with flaps 1 and speed brakes, it's not slowing down, which is a bit unusual actually. I'm going to go auto speed, and that might make it slow down more. Right, what gear can we can extend the gear. Actually, it doesn't say. I'll put the gear down, and maybe that'll, there you go, that'll help introduce some drag then to slow us down, hopefully. I wouldn't usually put it down this early, but there doesn't seem to be a speed restriction on it. The plane seems okay about it, and you can see that has massively decreased. That, we'll go ahead and arm the ground spoilers now then. Actually won't do that, I'll keep them. This plane is not wanting to slow down. Again, I'm wondering whether this latest update of the flight factors caused the performance to be a bit weird. The A320 doesn't usually have a lot of issues with slowing down, especially when it's only doing 1,000 feet per minute %. Okay, we're alright now, we're alright. The plane seems to have got itself together now. So flaps 3. And there you go, the plane is now properly slowing down. We're okay, guys. It's alright. And flaps full. We're still 5 miles out. I'm going to go ahead and arm... Oh, the ground spoilers are armed. Good. That means that this thing has successfully... it's able to slow itself down properly. And autopilot come out. There, plane's alright then, it has managed to slow itself down in time, which was the key thing. But yeah, the auto throttle is definitely behaving a slight bit weird on this new build of the flight factor. Obviously it oversped on takeoff from Heathrow as well, so... Apparently we're slightly too low, yes, I'll just correct that. And there you go, the plane's got itself slowed down absolutely fine for final, we're alright. I was back on course, we're slightly off to the right there of the runway. I don't know, it's looking slightly like we're
approaching
like on course
0-5.
According to the plane and the PAPI lights, we're still too low. Really? I really wouldn't say we're too low right now. Yeah, I don't think we're too low. I don't know, the glide slope and the PAPI lights. Okay, the PAPI lights are now agreeing with us. So I'm going to start the descent again. Hey, look, we're definitely not too low. I really wouldn't say we're too low. Never mind. We'll listen to the glide slope and the PAPI lights. They must be accurate, right? Actually, yeah, there is a small displaced threshold on the runway, actually. Aim for the touchdown zone. Hopefully we can do quite a smooth landing. Obviously, having the correct thing to control the aircraft with definitely helps.
50, 40, 30, 20,
idle the power.
10,
Try and touch it down quite smoothly. There you go, that was pretty good. Reverse is out. And reverse is stowed. Manual braking. Auto brakes off. We slowed down quite quickly there, actually.
3,000 feet remaining.
Land lights off. Use the brakes. Try not to get them too hot, because then we won't need the brake fan. Oh, never mind. You always need the brake fan in this aircraft. Right, brake fan on. Stop the clock there and vacate to the left. Start the APU up. Taxi lights on. And hello and welcome everyone to Strasbourg. Going to vacate here on Foxtrot, and then we're going to head via Kilo into the apron, and we're going to park at stand Alpha 17. So there we go, we're here. Hello and welcome everyone. Let's go ahead and get the weather radar turned off. That was a smooth landing. I saw about 300 FPM, about 200, something like that, 200, 300, looking at the screen there on the plane. Constraints and landing system off. Flight director right side, then left side off. Flaps retracted. Speed brake disarmed. And we're going to take Alpha... Alright, I'll take Alpha 1-5 then, is it? Let's take Alpha 1-5. Yeah. Alpha 1-7 would have been slightly further along, so we'll just take Alpha 1-5, it's fine. It's the easiest one for us to get to anyway. And get ourselves nicely lined up with the parking, like the parking line. Make sure we do good parking so that I can get the jetway connected. And stop. There you go, Samuel jetway's already detected us. Make sure they go idle power, make sure the APU is available, it is. Engine 2 off, TCAS can come off now as well. The aircraft's power is just switching over now. And engine 1 off as well. So you can see the aircraft's just switching over to APU power now. There you go, taxi lights off. The nav and logo lights can come off as well. And there we go, just letting the aircraft power down. Excellent. Shocks and ground power are set. Parking brakes are released. Brake fan is off. And ground power can come on. We're on ground power now, so the APU can come off. And let's go ahead and get the... Oh, I didn't know that worked. I meant to click on Sam. Well, jetways. There you go, jetway can connect. Beacon light off. Let's get the fuel pumps off. And then we just need to wait now for the... Flight time is an hour and 3 minutes. Planned flight time was 1 hour, so pretty good. Pretty much perfect there. Just waiting for the jet bridge to connect. Right, cargo, we can call that. Make sure that's in gate mode, and we'll call the back doors. Call the fuel truck, and we'll open the main door, ready for the jetway. Slight bug again. For some reason, even though this is in gate mode, the stairs have arrived. Right, stairs and then gate. I'll refresh them. Hopefully the stairs shouldn't spawn in now. No, they haven't. So, again, another slightly weird bug there. Don't know what was happening. But there we go. We're parked. Maybe went slightly too far on the end, actually. Doesn't matter. We didn't hit any of the things on the side. Right, we're going to actually get rid of the fuel pumps because it thinks... The fuel truck, I mean, because it thinks we're refueling the aircraft, which we're not. Right, all the generators and the packs and stuff can come off. Cargo heats can come off. And... Finally... Cabin, just go back to cabin and pairs, go back to captain, and the strobe lights can come off, seatbelt signs can come off now, everyone can get up after that flight, turn off the IRSs, why not? I can still hear like packs or stuff going, get the engine bleeds off, everything off. Oh, there you go. Turns out that that got rid of the power to the aircraft. Actually, that was what I was... Whoa. What happened there? The cam... I'm not doing that. What? Why is... What on earth is going on? My X-plane camera's broken. What's going on today? Okay, the X-plane camera's no longer broken. When my camera was moving left, I was not doing that then. The camera was moving itself left. Well, there we go. That was an interesting one. What's going on today? Some weirdness going on with X-Plane. I'm going to try and get the free camera views as well, like the ones where you can just move around. Does X-Plane have one of those? There seems to be like this one here, which is camera 3. But you still can't do a fully... It's still not a fully free cam. Cam 5? Is that a free camera? Oh, I think that's tower. I think that's tower position. There's shift 2. That's quite... No. Who knows? I don't know. I'm not very good with X-plane camera controls. This one's pretty good. there we go. Hope everyone enjoyed that one. And a bit of an interesting flight, wasn't it, in the end? Disconnect from that sim. Said it was interesting because we had those, that ATC there, but it was okay. Well, I don't know why the engines are still spooling around so much. They have been fully turned off. They do stay like that for a little bit, don't they, after departure, but I didn't think it lasted quite that long. And there we go. Hello and welcome everyone to Strasbourg. That was a good flight, I think. That was good fun. And I hope everyone enjoyed this one. I hope to see you in the next video, and bye-bye!